Yeah,
Look at his face.
yeah. Too up, too down.
Look at his
Hey,
face.
yeah.
Money.
Yeah, I wanted the crown and to be celebrated. I rented a tux and I ordered a mink. Stood in the mirror like mama, I made it. Proceeded to brush in the teeth in the sink. Caught me a grill and I'm so melanated. I polished the chain, I ain't gold in the link. And I got me a baby who gave me some babies. I'm raising a lady and building a king. Too cold, you too busy running with another man lane, I guess. Yeah, too bold. I be running on the one way, never change my set like, I don't ever use my signals, yeah. I be in the lane myself, yeah. I don't gotta change my mental, yeah. And I ain't gotta chase my wealth, and I accept my daddy got a kingdom, and everything I ever got is his. If I ever got a problem, I'ma seek him. I never doubt him, been about his biz, oh man, been there. I ain't gotta ride on the wave when the ocean is his. Close with the kid with a
What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What to do, y'all? It's your partners, Dale and Cliff, back in the saddle again for another edition of Roasted Friday Training Live, man. On Friday, every single week, we come back at you at 5 p.m. CST. We're a little bit late today, guys. We're taking care of business, right? And Cliff, man, it's been a very interesting week. Would you agree there, brother?
Yeah, man. It's just the ups and downs of buying real estate. Um, Man, it's kind of amazing the things you'll run into. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, when you go through it the first time, you're gonna say, "What is going on? Do people do this every time they buy a house?" And the answer
Yeah.
is yes.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
there's ways to make it smoother, but man, they can be a problem.
Yeah, I've noticed, Clifton, when you involve other entities outside of yours, you invite in other time constraints or timelines, understanding, training, protocols, and sometimes those protocols conflict with yours. And to be honest with you, a lot of the times, guys, is when it comes to these so-called protocols, it can slow yours down because someone has a lack of knowledge in certain areas. For instance, we're dealing with one of our bankers, and the underwriter is just interpreting stuff the incorrect way. I mean, legally, it didn't make any sense at all. Legally, it didn't make any sense at all. Attorneys have said it. Other companies said, like, this doesn't make any sense at all, period. So we have an adjust there. And then Cliff is getting the issue with one of our property managers in Mississippi. That there is a Cliff. Tell them about that one, brother.
Yeah, so there's a protocol that property managers have to go through in order to verify your property is good to rent for that company. And sometimes it's just small items. You know, you might have a cover, you might have a fan that's moving too slow. It could be some small items that would never prevent anybody from moving in the property. And those items could take up something that could easily be fixed in a day or two, can take a
Yeah,
week or 2 weeks to get the
yeah.
property manager to come out there and verify everything.
Yeah, man. And then we had an issue with the city too. The city actually caused damage to one of our properties out there. We fighting them on that, yo. It's just, but it's called business, man. It's delayed a lot of our closings, which delays a lot of our dollars that we actually have plans for other investments, guys. It's called business for a reason, and it sucks, but it is what it is, man. But other than that, Cliff, did we get the bag done?
Man, we got the bag. Yeah.
We got the bag, but we still got the bag a little bit too, as well, also, guys. And so, well, guys, let's dive into it real quickly, guys. It's been a very eventful week in real estate, guys, specifically from a market standpoint. Cliff, man, what's going on in the appraisal side of things when it comes to property? What are you seeing in the market, big dog?
I mean, there's some softening going on. I mean, I've been looking and paying attention to the market. I'm seeing more price cuts. But the thing is, the price cuts are small, and I think it's because basically there's no buyers,
Yeah.
And I think there's two reasons for that. I think obviously the prices are high, interest rates are high, but I also think that it's very well known when I go house to house, people maybe not be following the day to day what's going on with interest rates or the stock market or any of that kind of stuff, but they have
Yeah.
an idea of what's going on. And so what I'm hearing when I'm going to do my appraisals and talking to people is everybody figures at some point down the road the interest rates will drop. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. And so everybody's waiting. We're at another low of market transactions. So basically, this is the nobody's very few people are buying and selling houses right now. And because of that, if your house is on the market, it's sitting.
Yeah, it is sitting right now. It is sitting, guys. Typically, again, 350 and below, the selling is what it is.
Yeah.
400,000 to 800,000, you're looking at 90 days plus on the market. Anything over 800,000, 6 months to a year, because the cost of capital is just too high. And lending on those type of homes, unless you can negotiate a good buy down rate and get a lot of credits when it comes to the sellers, it's going to be very hard to do. But you can make it do what it do. And so me and Cliff, well, we were actually looking at we were looking at rates because he and I are looking at new homes, so to speak. And we were like, what in the world's going on here? And Cliff, we were seeing with a 680 credit score, right? And let's say you're buying a property at $700,000 and you put down 10%. So 630 is the loan amount. We were seeing between the credit score of 680 to 720. We were seeing that the rates would come back at 9.49% with a 1.625 discount rate. I'm saying it again for folk in back row. 10% down, 687.20 credit score, $700,000 as sales price, 630 loan amount with a 1.625 discount point rate, which means you're getting some credits there to decrease your rate. 9.49%. Am I right, Cliff?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're using a bank statement loan, it's considered a riskier loan.
Correct.
So right now you're probably about almost 2.5% above prime,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
crazy for and I that's not what I think. Apparently they say it's a tough loan. I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. You're putting 50,000 on a $500,000 house, putting $50,000 down, compared to a lot of other people who are doing other loans at 3% down,
Yeah.
5% down, but those
Yeah.
rates are better. So, um,
Well,
it's just the way the market is.
that's because the government is insuring those loans.
Right. Yep. It's artificial.
So it's artificial. So if the government says, "I'm going to insure that you've been taken out immediately," banks will give that lessens the risk for the bank. So the bank says, "Okay, we can we can look at a risk of putting less down because the government is going to insure it. We're good.
Right.
We're good." So now there's some conventional loans you can put down 3% down. You can put down 5% down, 10% down. It's going to be more scrutiny when it comes to your tax returns,
Right.
bank statements, paycheck stubs. So if you want to go about that and get equal to a FHA type of scenario, be prepared to present that type of documentation. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Well, Cliff, man, didn't we hear something about the Fed cut, Doc, bro?
Yeah. Yeah. The Fed talked this week, and they priming everybody. They cutting next meeting. Looks like it's going to be in September. We about 6 weeks away from our first cut. It's going to be 0.25. He said that too. He let
Yes.
everybody know it's going to be 0.25. So I think it's possible. I'm guessing it'll be at minimum 2 cuts,
Yeah.
at most maybe 3.
Yeah.
So it's probably 2 to 3. So I think we'll probably drop. I'm guessing 0.75 total.
Okay. Okay. 0.75. Now, will that type of cut move the needle of the market at all, Cliff?
No, the cut is not what's going to move the market. Um, it's the messaging that's going to move it. The fact, meaning that we're in a cutting cycle. We've stopped. The hiking cycle stopped. The cycle we're at right now, where interest rates are flat, that's over, and now we're only going to be cutting or staying. That adds some
Gotcha.
more consistency to the market because we know either we're going to be where we're at now, or we're going to have better terms in the future. And that allows you to invest at a better clip.
Yeah, I think that what's going on, y'all, you guys on Instagram. I think that here is this is what I think about the market moving. It may be a little bit of movement because of the initial excitement, but I think that what's going to cause it to kind of cool off is credit card debt and save people's savings and wages being beneath inflation. Where's the money going to come from for the down payment, guys? Where's it coming from? My 401k, your 401k has lost value. Where's it coming from? I mean, so most people liquidate their first house to get to a second house. As me and Cliff talked about, depending on the price point, that property could be on the market for a long period of time before it is sold. Would you agree, Cliff, or disagree?
Right. Yep.
So this is what initially it's going to be a lot of hype. They cut the rates, and you're going to hear all the business tycoons and the economists come out. You get ready, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like, nope, because why? People cannot afford to buy a new home at a higher rate. And you have stubborn sellers on the market retail wise. They're not going to decrease their price points that significantly and give you all these credits. What for? And that wounds them. So hopefully it does. I'm rooting for the market, but it may not. You agree, Cliff, or you disagree?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Right. We have credit card debts at an all time high. We also have unemployment rate rising, and that's part of the reason why they're cutting. Is because they're trying to balance that. But they partially cause the unemployment rate to rise because it's harder to get money, and there's a and me and you are we playing at a decent level, but when you start getting into billions, an interest
Yeah.
rate difference, 1%, half a percent means millions of dollars in your
Correct.
pocket. That's a
Correct.
huge difference to them, especially the Silicon Valley. When they're trying to buy a new business, they buy it on leverage. They don't pay all
Correct.
cash. They'll borrow. Now that it's cheaper, buying a 500 million or $1 billion company, it might just save you $40 million right there.
Yeah, it may.
So I think what's going to happen is as we start to cut, you're going to see this unwind our current situation. It may take another. I think it's going to be at least 6 months of unwinding before we get back to a kind of somewhat of a stable market. In the meantime, that's why I'm calling the next 6 months the perfect time to buy because prices are still low. They're cutting, right? But interest rates are low. But also, like what Dale was saying, there's not going to be a huge amount of people coming into the market because they're in debt.
Yeah.
So if you're in a good position, you could throw out some low price offers and see if you can catch some.
Yeah. So with that being said, we got somebody who's going to chime in real fast.
Yeah.
Some people gonna be saying, all right, yes, sir. In that real fast, y'all. Man, this good, man. So it may be right, guys. Cliff may be right on that, guys. I don't know. That's just me. But guys, in a second we're gonna dive into a topic real fast that speaks exactly to what Cliff was talking about. Here we go. But we're back. Here we go. Most individuals that I talk to today, they're really concerned about the economy, specifically the volatility of it. Now, the area of their concerns really centers around the variable of inflation. Inflation right now is really outpacing people's wages, number one. And number two, it's beginning to affect their 401k and IRAs because their retirement accounts are connected or intertwined with the stock market. Over the years, I've been fairly successful in real estate investing. Currently, I own about $35 million worth of real estate under management. And also my partner and I have been able to build our private equity and venture capital firm to about $1.2 billion worth of assets under management. Now, this success has taken place in up or down economies. Now, whenever there's volatility in the market, opportunities begin to show up. There are 3 investment strategies that, if implemented the correct way, Any investor can go from 0 to 6 figures in the next 6 to 12 months. Click on the link below or swipe up and let's talk through these strategies. All right, guys, let's dive into this real quickly, man. Is this the best time to buy a home? So we've heard about the current market analysis. We've heard about the Fed interest rate cut that's potentially coming in September, how much it may go down or up, guys. Now let's dive into answering this question. Is this the best time to buy a home? Well, our friends at Valuetainment actually covered this topic, Cliff. We're going to talk about it real quickly, man, to see what they're talking about real fast, man. And then you and I are going to sit down, man, and kind of see if we agree with what they're saying or not. And then we can kind of go from there. Sound good, brother?
Let's do it.
Let's get it in.
86% of renters say they cannot afford to buy a home, with majority saying they will never afford one. And this is a story from, who is this from? Fox Business. Let's go through this here. 86% of U.S. renters said they can't afford to buy a home. 50% doubt they will ever own a home. Brent Bjornson, a 39-year-old father, explains home ownership seems impossible, and that hurts for 2 kids of baby boomers. Matt Agan, a CNN reporter, notes this is just widening the gap between the haves and have-nots, emphasizing that 83% of Americans consider home ownership as essential milestone, yet many can't achieve it due to escalating cost. Jeremy Anderson, a 40-year-old father of twins representing a growing sentiment, says, we have given up on home ownership. I'm not going to pay $350,000. Shit, $350,000. You wish that was the case in South Florida. For a rundown house, the rising prices of starter homes, now at least $1 million in 237 cities, exasperate this frustration. Tom, thoughts on the story?
Well, this is the affordability crisis, another story in living color about it. And what people are talking about is, hey, inflation is making it so expensive to live. How am I supposed to save a down payment? Now, veterans don't need a down payment, but the rest of us do, at least 10%. So inflation in PBD is making it hard for people just to save for that down payment.
Wow.
And then, okay, now you've got a down payment, but how big is that monthly payment going to be based on the price of the house? And we had yesterday the news, the day before yesterday, previous podcast, the news that people were getting into contracts, like an offer is a contract. Yeah. Well, but now can you get it done? And banks were causing those contracts to be canceled because they can't approve them for the loan with everything there. So this is basically underlining the affordability crisis, but also it underlines you can't wait on the economy. It may suck, but you got to drive with side hustles and do a lot of things to get yourself up. You can't just wait for it to come back to you. You got to be inspired and you got to drive against it. But this is what the average person is facing. This is the affordability crisis in living color.
Adam.
Yeah. So Cliff, man, what do you think about the commentary concerning what they're talking about there?
Yeah. It's simple, right? We're gonna break it down real basic. We printed trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
And Dale brings this up all the time. The government's not done. They haven't even spent a lot of it. Mm-mm. So as much as you say it's expensive now, just wait.
Just wait. I like the fact that Tom, who was talking at the end, was talking about a side hustle. More than ever, guys, you need to begin a side hustle. If your goal is to become a homeowner, whether it be a first time, second or third time, you need revenue to be able to buy a house. You'll need it. Now, you can use different government programs that have down payment assistance. That's fine. If you qualify for it, use those programs. But at the exact same time, if you don't have enough income coming in and you got to do a side hustle, I would say renting is going to be the key because of the fact that, but even rental rates they're beginning to come down a little bit now. The reason why is because people cannot afford the payments because savings is at an all-time low, while credit card debt is at an all-time high, and your partner with the federal government will not stop printing these dollars. That's not going to happen, guys. no matter if it's Kamala Harris or Donald Trump in there, they're going to print those dollars. They're coming. Now, you can offset it when it comes to oil and gas and being able to negotiate buying the UK debt to send the inflated dollars over across seas in a foreign policy deal to kind of lessen the road the effect of inflation. But at the exact same time, it's going to keep going up. If you agree,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Let me just show you something real quick here. So I'll show you. I'm sharing this real quick.
all right, here I come, big
Yeah,
dot
throw it
boy.
up.
There you go.
So this is the Zillow housing market overview.
Yeah,
Dale, do you notice a trend?
I do.
What direction it going?
Up.
Exactly. And this is, and you could even go to the past year, and that is with the high interest rates.
Wow.
So you're seeing it go from 350 to what, almost 365,
Yeah.
right? In 1 year with
Yeah.
high interest rates and low transactional volume.
Correct.
Where do you think it will be once we lower the interest rates and then add more volume?
Mm.
It's going to go even higher up. So you can see what's happened in the past 5 years here. In 5 years, it went from 244 to almost to where it is now, about 365.
Correct.
That's almost $150,000
Correct.
in 5 years.
Correct.
So you
Correct.
take 150 divided by 5. So housing is basically on average going up $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
So what Tom is saying is that the best time to buy is now, or if you wait till next year, it's an extra 30K.
He's correct. He's correct. So the answer to the question that Cliff was talking about, and I'm glad you showed this concerning is this the best time to buy a home? I don't see the prices. Well, the prices are coming down now, which is fine. I would say this here is, if you can afford to buy a home, but know how to negotiate. Know how to negotiate. This right here, what Cliff's just showing right here, guys. This pattern right here is pivotal because it's not going to come down. Not at all. It's not, guys. Look at that.
Yeah, and so like I said, and we're getting ready for the interest rates to drop, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be your best chance.
Yeah.
You can see from here to here, from about a year ago, here
Mhm.
to here, it kind of flattened out. This is when a lot of the interest rates started to really get heightened. You still had this, right?
Yeah.
So even the past year, you can see that it kind of flattened out a little bit there, and it came up. Right now, like I'm calling it, the next 6 months is going to be your best opportunity to buy.
Say that again, brother. Hold on. Hold on. You got to say it with your chest. Let's go take this off real fast. Say it with your chest. Say it again, brother.
The next 6 months is going to be your best opportunity to buy a house. You're going to have it's slow in the market. Like Dale said, you have people who can't afford too much.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be as much demand. So
Correct.
you're coming in with a lower interest rate and lower demand. That is your best negotiation right there. You're going to get, because if you wait till next year, everybody else might have caught up to you, and a house is $30,000 more.
I agree, guys. I would say that one I can agree on because I don't see it coming down. The rates, get used to a 7, 8, 9% interest rate because we were at zero for too long.
Yeah.
For too long, guys, and give it about 3 to 5 years to kind of balance out, and then you begin to see it kind of going to come down a little bit more. But it's really going to depend on do our leaders, are they negotiating for the benefit of the people or for themselves? And you'll see in the policies, because to be honest with you, policies drive interest rates. They do. Man, Cliff, that was a. Now, with that being said, Cliff, man, from an investing standpoint, because people want to understand real estate investing, it's now a good time to begin investing in real estate.
It's always a good time. Yeah, it's always well. I'm not gonna say always. Most of the time is a good time to
Yeah,
invest in real estate, especially if you're playing the long game. That's primarily what I do. I would say I'm 85, 90% focused on the long term.
yeah,
But I mean, there are some deals that it's got enough equity and looks nice and days on market are low. I might flip it.
sure.
But for the most part, I'll say I'm focused on the long term. So it's always a good opportunity if you get a deal.
It is. Getting the deal, guys, is not as hard as you think. If you know how to find a deal, most investors don't know how to locate a good deal. So they buy incorrect. Give an example. We're going to use an example in Jackson, Mississippi. Cliff, how much did we buy the property off of Rutledge? How much did we buy that property for?
Like 15,000.
15,000.
Mhm.
Into the renovation.
We put about 40.
40. Okay.
Yeah,
What was the ARV on that property?
110.
So let's walk through this process. Bought it for 15, put 40 into it, which means we're in it at 59, right? 59, all in 59.
Hmm.
The after repair value is 110. 110 times 75% is what?
Come at like 84, I think.
84,000. So 84,000 minus 59 is what?
I'm sorry, it was 88. My bad.
It,
94,
it,
88.
so
Yeah.
88 minus 59 is what?
29.
29,000. That's profit without taxes, correct?
Right. Yep.
So therefore, that's because we understood how to locate, vet, and increase the value and execute that exit strategy on the property. Now, Cliff, what is the rental rate in that area?
About 1,200.
1,200. Our PITI payment is around what, 750?
Yeah, right around 750.
750. So, and then we have a couple insurances on there. So really, it's around like what? Let's say 850. 850. So 1,200 minus 850 is what?
That's me 350.
That's monthly cash flow, guys. How long did it take us to renovate the property, Cliff?
What was that? That was probably like 30 days, 45 days. I'll say 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Was the
Mhm.
house towed from the floor up? Was the house towed up?
Oh man, that was a bad one. Yeah, that was a lot of stuff.
From soup to nuts.
Right.
From start to finish, 6 weeks. Then we did it again, didn't we, Cliff? We did it again. So rinse and repeat because we know how to find and locate deals. This is the reason why I have the QR code in the middle and on the left hand side over my left shoulder. Is because of the fact that this is why we created the Cash Flow Club bundle. Is we actually have a course training you guys on how to find, underwrite, structure, and close on a property. And if the deal makes sense, we will fund the deal for you. That's a good deal, ain't it, Cliff? Am I tripping?
Oh man.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unbelievable deal. I mean, we're walking you through one house will take care of you. And this is what I want to say, man. It only takes you could do one house a year. You could try to do 10 houses a year.
Sure.
You can do commercial property. You could do whatever you want, right? We can walk you through that process. But what I would say is we showed you that chart of house prices going the way they're going, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So why don't you own one? It's going up
Mm.
30,000 a year. My question is, why don't you own one? My second question is, why don't you own one that's making you money on top of creating $30,000 a year in equity? I guess my last question is, why don't you own a bunch of them? Right? That's the whole point. We're showing you the equity. The rich get richer. We just showed you how. $30,000 per asset per year. You own 10. That's 300,000. You own 100, and there are people out there with 100. They're growing $3 million in equity per year. That's
Correct.
how they're doing it.
Correct. That's how we play the game, guys. And you rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Don't fix it. Most people try to broke something that's not fixed. And so this is just something that we want to give out there, guys, to where we're already in the market doing what we're doing. Now the question is will you actually match it and do that exact same thing with help? Be okay with asking for help. Most investors, we buy a lot of properties from investors that don't know what the hell they're doing. And okay, no problem. It's what it is. Don't be one of those investors. Don't do that.
Right. Yeah.
Have a mentor. Have a mentor. Cliff, you want to say anything, man, before we end everything, man?
No, that's it, man. You one deal away. We said every week. So man, reach out to us, man. Get the cash flow club, join us, and I promise you'll learn something.
You will, guys. And in luster words of our boy Denzel Washington, here we go.
My man. My man. My man. My man. My man. Good for you. My man.
That's it, guys. Hey, let's get it in, guys. But guys, thank you so much for your time, guys. God bless you. You know how we end it every single time. Before you leave, and while you can, you see that thing, baby. Take that damn picture and give it to your mom and them. How you about it? All right, guys. See you guys next time. All right, y'all. Peace.